Hi there, this is David Weller with the Old Cannon Armory. We're going to talk real quick about this new EXTAR EXP-556 pistol. Very impressive product. So let's take a look here. We'll do a little unboxing. We're going to weigh it, take a look at it, look how to do the disassembly of it just to make sure we know how to do the cleaning. Then we're going to take it out and shoot it for a little bit. So let's see what we got here. So here we have the EXP box. Pretty simple. Made in USA and made in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. So we'll just open our box up. And pretty basic. Here we go. Foam padding, and not a whole lot to it. Still very nice. Owner's manual and registration card. Pretty straightforward there. Tapco magazine, probably made from melted Pringles lids. And then the actual pistol itself. And you can see here it's very lightweight. There's really not a whole lot to it. Kind of has a ghost light type of sighting system to it. It's really kind of nice. And very, very straightforward. So let's take a look at what it weighs. We're just going to set this on a little food scale here. Take a look at that. And that's 3 pounds and about 2 1/8 ounces. So that's pretty impressive for a pistol that shoots 556 ammo. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to set the camera up and we're going to go through the disassembly process so you can see how that's done as well. The first thing you're going to want to do, as in every case, is to make sure that the pistol is clear of any ammunition. So you'll want to remove the magazine. And then the next thing you'll want to do is open the bolt by pulling the charging knob all the way to the rear. And then you're just going to make sure that everything is empty inside. No ammunition at all. Let it come all the way forward. And then you're going to be able to start the disassembly process. Now, unlike standard AR-15, to remove the upper, you only have to remove one pin, and this is the one that's in the rear. When they're new, they're a little bit tricky to kind of push out, so you can just use a bullet tip and just push that pin out, just like you would on a standard AR-15. Push it all the way to the rear, just like that. Make sure the pin is pulled completely out till it stops at the detent. And then what you're going to do is just grasp it, and then firmly just pull that upper portion forward. And you'll notice that the whole assembly up here at the top pulls forward like this. You'll just pull it away. You'll notice that there's a spring back here. You want to make sure that that spring is captured as you go through this process of removing this. Simply comes out just like that. And there you go. So the spring comes out just like that. And now you have the upper portion. Now the upper portion, removing the upper portion is pretty straightforward. It's actually very interesting the way it's done. You push the knob all the way to the back, brings the bolt assembly all the way to the rear. You can see it sticking out like this. Now that this is all the way to the rear, this charging knob pulls out just like this. You can set this to the side. And now your bolt assembly comes completely out just like that. And we're not going to go to the details of actually disassembling the bolt. It's pretty straightforward and it's covered in the instructions if you want to go through that. But the reassembly is the same process in reverse. Now, the one thing I will tell you is that the charging knob itself has a little ridge on it. And so when you place this charging knob back into the slot, you want to also make sure that it's indenting itself into the ridges in the actual upper itself. So you want to push that as far in as you can, and then make sure as you slide it forward that it's captured so it can't come back out. And then you'll push it all the way to the front so it snaps into place. Now the next part is just to simply insert the actual buffer spring itself, and then you're going to basically just reassemble it, putting it back on the pivot pin and then reassemble. And the way I do it is I tilt it to the side a little bit first, and then I bring it back down, and then you simply snap it back into place, like so, and then you close the pin. And you're done. You're ready to go. And we're all set. Hey, we're back. Okay, so let's just kind of run over the overall impressions of this pistol. So I'd say the accuracy, we ran the targets out to about 25 yards, put a few rounds through it, and very impressed for both offhand and for using a simple reflex sight. We didn't set this on a pistol rest to really see how far out we could go as far as accuracy goes, but even at 25 yards offhand, it was very, very impressive. We'd probably give that a 4 out of 5 stars. For ergonomics, the pistol did shoot nicely and the recoil was very manageable. Manipulating the pistol was really very straightforward. Manipulating this charging bolt back here is actually really very simple to do. Anyone can operate this, so this is really nice as far as ergonomics go. Pistol grip felt good, and after about 90 rounds, the handguard itself only felt moderately warm, so we give that about a 4 out of 5 stars. For reliability, we only put about 90 rounds through, but we did several magazine changes. Everything worked flawlessly. Bolt hold open worked perfectly. Everything was great there. So we'd probably say that that's about a 4 out of 5 stars as well. And the only reason we don't give it a 5 out of 5 stars is because, honestly, for reliability, you really need to put a lot more rounds before you get a feel for what that does. For customizability, this is kind of where we only give it a 1 out of 5 stars, and the reason being is because you can replace the lower parts kit with like a standard drop-in trigger if you want to. The actual trigger pull is really very smooth, so there's no problems with it out of the box. The grip you can replace as well. However, if you're thinking about doing a caliber change, this pistol is not set up for doing caliber changes. And on the same reason, the muzzle brake is specifically set up for this type of system, and so there are no options right now to replace the muzzle brake with like a flash hider or something to that effect. So you have really no customizability for the upper half of it. You do have a Picatinny rail up here at the top. You can put things on like a reflex sight like we did, but overall I'd say that you're going to be very limited in your customizability, so I probably only give that a 1 out of 5 stars. As far as value goes, the nice thing is that this is going to retail for about $5.99. That's about the price of a new Glock. And so I would probably say that this AR pistol gives you a lot of bang for the buck, quite literally. Overall, I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars. As AR pistols go, this is an amazing value. And the only thing that I would remind you is that whenever you're using this pistol, be sure to use hearing protection, and I recommend maybe sunglasses as well. There you go.